Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is the 17th snowflake of our 25 days of snowflakes. This one's pretty simple. It consists of just 4 rounds, and this last round is just the chains and doubles, singles, and then a slip stitch to make the little loops at the top. Now when we starch these, we're going to try to get this little loop at the top to make a pretty triangle shape, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work or not. Okay, let's talk about what you're going to need. Now you can use any yarn you want to make this snowflake, and then just use the hook that yarn recommends. But for this one, I used a size 10 crochet thread and a 1.75 millimeter hook. You're going to need a needle to weave in your ends. Now what's perfect for the thread are these size 22 DMC needles that I got at Walmart from the embroidery aisle. Get you a pair of scissors and a stitch marker. And that's it. That's all the supplies we're going to need. So get that all together and let's get started. Okay, to start our 17th snowflake, we are going to get a slip knot on our little hook. We're going to start with a chain of 6. Oops. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Slip stitch down to that very first chain to form a ring. All right. To get started, we are going to chain 1 and we're going to work 12 single crochet into this ring. Now make sure you're working over your tail so we can tighten that down. We have 1. I'm going to stop and mark. Mark that first single crochet with a stitch marker so we don't lose the beginning of our round. All right, so that's 1 and we need 12. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so there's our 12 single crochet. I'm going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's 12. Ooh, I need to zoom you guys in. You see our 12 single crochet? Okay, so now we are going to slip stitch to that first single crochet of the round. And we're going to chain 1. And right back into that single we just slip stitched into, we're going to work a double crochet. So yarn over and go right in there with a double. Oops. And then we're going to double into the next single. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to single crochet into the next, or double crochet into the next 2 singles. One, and into the next one. 2. Chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what we're going to repeat around, guys. A double into the next 2 doubles. 1 and 2, and chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Double into the next 2, chain 5, double into the next 2, chain 5. Repeat that around and I will meet you when we get to that last single. Okay, so I've worked a double into my very last single, so I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to come right to that very first double crochet and slip stitch. So now we should have 6 chain 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that was the end of round 2. So now to start round 3, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into that same double we just slip stitched to. And I'm going to mark that single so I don't lose the first stitch. Now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to single crochet into that very next double crochet. Okay, so now into the chain 5 loop, we're going to work we're going to work 3 singles. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and work 3 singles right back in there. 1, 2, and 3. And then into the next 2 doubles, we're going to work a single into the first, chain 2, single into the next double. And then into the chain 5 with 3 singles, chain 2, 3 singles. And that's what we're going to repeat around. 1, 2, 3 singles, chain 2, and 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet into the next double, chain 2, double into the next double, and then we're back to the next chain 5, which is 3 singles. Did I say double into those? I meant you guys. So it's a single into the double, chain 2, single into the next double. I think I said doubles. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, now we're to the chain 5. We're going to work 3 singles, 2 and 3, chain 2, and 3 singles. So repeat this all the way around. 3. And I will meet you guys when we work the last stitches in this last chain 5, okay? So I will be right back. Okay, so I've come back to the end. I've worked my last single crochet, and now right into the very first single that we have marked, we are going to slip stitch. And that is the end of round 3. This is what we should be looking like. Now these little chain 2s are kind of hidden in the middle, but we're going to be working into those, so they're going to be poking out. All right, so to move on to round 4, we're going to slip stitch right into that chain 2 space. So if you kind of pull it apart, you can see the bigger hole in the middle right there. That's our chain 2. Slip stitch in there, chain 1, and we're going to come right back in there with a single. And now mark that so we don't lose it. All right, now we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And into this chain 2 peak, we're going to work a double, chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. And then we're going to come right back down to that very first chain. So if you look, right there's the top of our double, and right there's our first chain. We're going to come right back into there with a slip stitch, and that's going to create a little loop. Or it's a bigger picot basically is what it is. Now we're just going to double crochet right back into that chain 2 loop. I don't like that double. I'm going to redo that. That looked wonky. Well, it did it again. Alright, good enough. Okay, so now we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to come right down to the chain 2 that's in the middle of our peaks, and with a single. Chain 4. And we're back to our top point, which is a double. Chain 8. Double. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slip stitch into that very first chain. And then double crochet and back into that chain 2. And that's the repeat, guys. Chain 4, single into that middle chain 2, chain 4, work your double, chain 8, slip stitch into the first, double, chain 4, single into the next chain 2, chain 4, you're back to the top, the peak again. So you guys go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you when we work into that last chain 2 point, okay? Be right back. Okay, so I've repeated that around. So to finish, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come down and slip stitch to that beginning single crochet. And there we go. That is our 17th snowflake. This one's cute. Okay, so if you're going to use the little wire hangers, little Christmas ornament hangers from Walmart, chain 1, pull up a loop, fasten off, and weave in your ends. But if you're going to make a little loop like mine, I'm going to chain 1 and pull up a loop. Back you guys out a little bit. And I'm going to cut. Make sure you got a long loop. Cut. And then I'm going to start by first weaving in this center tail. Now I'm not going to pull that center tail closed. I actually, about the way it is, looks pretty good. So I'm just going to start running my needle through a couple of these legs of these singles. If I can get them through. There we go. Get off there. Go through a few more. Alright. I'm going to pull that and then I'm going to cut. Alright, there's that center one. Now for this one, I like the placement of where it's at right now. So it's coming from the center of these 2 points. So I'm going to get this on my needle. And I'm just going to come right down next to it. Come into the back and I'm going to just weave these in. A few stitches. And then once that little tail pops out, I'm going to stop. Flip my snowflake over and I'm going to check to see the length of that hanger. Now my last few ones, the hanger's a little long, so I want to keep this one just a tad bit shorter. So I kind of liking the height right there. And now I'm just going to hold this loop so I don't lose the height of that, and finish weaving this in, this tail in. Let's go through a couple stitches. Sometimes these are just, they do not want to go. hold that loop so we don't lose that height, and then come back through, and that locks it down, and then we cut so we don't lose anything, and there we go. Okay, there is our 17th snowflake, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hit that thumbs up if you did. Subscribe, and there's all kinds of tutorials you guys can see. And check out the description box where I got all kinds of links down there for you guys. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the snowflake. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!